Okay, another question for you, Mark. What are a couple of unique things that you do to drive labor growth that most service managers might not think of or dare to do?
Well, I'm a guy that is a driver, 110%, and I look at every viable option every day.
Yes.
Sometimes more than every day. To try to maximize every dollar we get. Let's take, for example, this morning. We were here at 6 o'clock this morning working. Had guys here waiting for me to get in the door. Making sure they're properly dispatched, because I'm the one dispatching the work. I don't necessarily say the advisors do a bad job, but to maximize the dollars that you have, it's probably best that you do it as a manager. And then also, I take on everything I can get my hands on. I know a lot of guys or gals don't like to kind of waver from within their product line, but if you were to go back in our shop right now, you'd see Fords, Chevrolets, Dodge, Mitsubishis, Hyundais, Hondas, everything. And my guys have gotten used to that, and so they're not afraid to go after the work. The other thing that I can tell you is probably the biggest thing is, or two more things actually. One is to make sure that you're meeting with your advisors every day, if not twice a day, to find out where they're at, where their jobs are at. It not only naturally makes them more accountable for what they're doing, but it makes them understand that you know where they're at. And plus, knowledge is power. The more you know, the better off you're going to be about getting those cars in and out of the door correctly, and without having to come back again. So
yeah, absolutely. And I can vouch for that, because I hear you every day paging service advisors, paging the technicians, to your office. Very impressive. I've been in business, since the 80s, and you're the only service manager that I've ever seen do that. So it does make a difference. Speaking of technicians, and how is your technician retention and morale?
Oh, it's pretty good. I'd like to think that the morale is pretty good. Obviously, you're not going to be liked by everyone, and I'm going to be. I'll tell you that straightforward. But being respected, to know that every person that works with you knows you're trying to get them every dollar they can for their family. That's a very important key. If they think that you're making all the money off of their backs, you're going to lose them. My retention for quite a long time was probably 25 to 26 years plus. Now, Chris can attest, we lost a lot of guys to retirement. So I've got a young buck movement back there, I call it. And I got to tell you, most of my guys have been with me between 5 to 8 years at this point. These young guys, man, not only do they give me a run for my money, but they just make it a lot of fun. So it's just a great time. And knowing that you've got some experience to go back there and still get your hands dirty with them every day if need be, that's another form of respect that you'll never get if you don't try it and do it with them.
Right. And I noticed, that's why I pointed out at the beginning that, that you also were a master technician and everything, because I think that's important. I see you in the shop all the time, at the stalls, helping them out, giving them advice. And I think it's important to also touch on what you did, is that you had people stay with you till retirement. So I don't know, at least 4 that I can think of.
That's right.
So
4.
Yeah, and retention has been great. One of the things that you touched on that I just want to also give you credit for and let you know is they know that you do drive for the dollar, so everyone back there has made more money. But by you staying in touch with them, I think it's important that they understand, and by you holding meetings and knowing where they are, you're doing everything you can to make more money for them.
Right. It's not only just having the meetings, but it's having the drive to help them get the drive as well. We're 2 days away from the end of the month, and every one of my guys came to me and asked me, are we going to make the number? And I'm telling you, that to me means more than anything. Efficiency, they all know they got to get these cars in and out as quickly as they can. They all know they have to be efficient. They all know that they have to be at their 40 to 42 hours plus. Now, 42 hours plus isn't going to make a check. So, the way that I've always viewed what we do here is I've got 22 mouths to feed before my family's even thought of. That to them, and they all know that to them, they know that if they're making or breaking, can make or break their month as well. So, you know, it's mutual between all of us. We all know where we stand, and they know it every day. So it's mutual there.
Yeah, and another thing that you do a great job with when you pull them into the meetings, and maybe we'll take a picture to include with this video, is I love your board.
Pre-owned Park 81,
Oops,
please.
sorry.
Pre-owned
Yeah.
sales, Park 81.
On your board, you keep track of your goal, your hours, your dollars per, dollars per RO.
And I'll tell you, that's another thing too. You know, if you've got some guys that are kind of looking to maybe take a refresher, you know, like some of my fellow managers that are out there, if it's one thing that I could tell you, the one of the most unpopular things is to look at pay plans. I haven't touched a pay plan now in, gosh, 7, 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
But when I did come out with the pay plan that I have, it was quite controversial. The pay plan that I'm on, or I have my advisors on, is who I'm talking about here, is there's several areas where they make their money. And the way that I did this was it was all based on gross. Anything that I could find that was high gross, I want to pay them on. And why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You want to drive that number. So I pitched it to them as a way that, hey, look, if you're not doing well in this area, you still have a way to make a great check at the end of the month in this area. And what that's done is that actually, Chris, remember that boosted our gross.
Yes.
That boosted gross by almost 19%. 19% off of a pay plan change. And the advisors made more money.
Yeah, and I remember that I was one of those that wasn't sure.
Yes,
so you
yes,
convinced
you
me that it was the way to go.
Yes, you
and basically, he has spiffs and pays on the gross, and then he has spiffs for different products. And there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of moving parts that they can get paid on, but
it takes a lot of work on my behalf.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is as a manager, there's things that you'll have to do that will cause a lot of extra work for you, but in the long run makes your job much easier once you're used to those additional roles in your daily routine. So it's a lot of challenge. It can be a little stressful, but honestly, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's the way that we've got things structured, I can't wait to get in this new building. We're going from 9 bays to 27 bays. I anticipate that being filled up quite quickly. So I can't wait to get in that new building just to see how far the roof is, and I don't know where that's at, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
so.
You're definitely landlocked and challenged right now, and we are very grateful and happy to have you. I got one last question for you, and that is, if you're going to offer advice to a service manager who wanted to hit the reset button and start with a fresh approach to driving gross, what would you prioritize, or what would be the first things you do to hit the reset button?
The first thing I would do for anyone who wants to do reset button is to look at your numbers deep. Get yourself a financial statement, find out where you're at. You should get one of those every day. That's the first and foremost thing. Find out where your expenditures are high. You're gonna probably find your tech expenses are probably a little higher than where they should be. That's where your efficiency comes in at. Are you dispatching to the correct areas? Are you making sure that you've got a proper balance of the right techs? And then, quite frankly, making sure that you've got a good, solid base of advisors. Your advisors are the face of your dealership. That's probably one of the biggest areas that's made a big impact on where we're at today.
Absolutely. And again, Mark, I sincerely appreciate you. You're awesome. Thank you very much for your time, and go close the month strong.
Thank you very much. Good luck, everyone.